expropriate with just compensation the TCL Endobo compound in Tsumeb. It was a motion that was adopted unanimously by all parties that were serving in the last parliament before we inaugurated the new parliament, and we agreed that this matter should be done as expeditiously as possible. I am, however, taken aback by the fact that today a court ruling has been sought by the current owner of that land, a certain Mr. Groenewald, who has got a court ruling now to evict over 110 families that are living at the compound of Endobo in Tsumeb. Therefore, I want to ask this question to the Minister. Where are we with this process? Because I assume, and it is logically assumed, that when a decision is taken by the legislature, it must have direct applicability to the executive to implement, because we have agreed that we should look at measures of expropriating that land in public interest with just compensation. Today, few months later, the people of Tsumeb at Endobo are evicted by the same owner, and yet this House has taken a principal decision to look at measures of expropriation. I want to know from the Minister, what has he done on the question of Endobo?
Yeah, Honorable Minister, if you think that you need some facts, you can say so, but if you have facts, you can answer the question.
Thank you, Honourable Deputy Speaker. Honourable Vinani, I do recall that you raised the matter here in Parliament, but I also recall that we have answered twice already in the House on the matter, and the answer is not changing. First of all, we got an legal opinion that indicated that that property is not a property that can be dealt with under the Commercial Farmland Act. So an expropriation in terms of that act would not be possible, because it would not be falling under the ambit of that act. The reason for that is because that property is in a municipal area and it is under a mining area. That is what we have indicated in our answer. It is not farmland. It is a mining area that was dedicated for the Tsumeb mine, and therefore it is not possible to use that piece of legislation. That was the legal opinion that we got. Secondly, Honourable Vinani, I believe that you are aware that as a minister I cannot intervene in matters that are before the court. The court ruling therefore stands, and if we want to challenge it, that is the only way we can do. Now that we have a court, we will read the judgment and see what the reasoning in the judgment is, and then we take it from there. But it is at the moment out of our hands. We cannot go against the court decision. Thank you.
Thank you. A quick follow-up.
That's all you can say.
Honourable Deputy Speaker, the said land, I did not get the information of the legal opinion. The last information that I got, just for the record, was the fact that there was a tussle between the Minister of Urban and the Land Ministry, not knowing who has the jurisdiction over the land. That is the last answer that you gave me. I've not heard of the legal opinion. But the legal opinion argues that the land is not farmland. The land is neither also municipal land. At this point in time, the boundary of Tsumeb says that the land falls outside the boundary, so it could fall under farmland. And if you articulate Article 16 of the National Constitution, I do not think that Article 60 only limits expropriation of land with just compensation to farmland. It only talks about land in national interest. So in our view, public interest is key here. And on the question of Tsumeb, and the reason why I moved the motion, and the reason why all of us agreed and adopted the motion to look for measures of expropriation was because of public interest. So I cannot be convinced that the AG's office or whoever gave the legal opinion can argue that Article 16 only limits expropriation when it comes to farmland. In fact, any land that is of public interest could be expropriated. And I want to urge you, through the leader of government business, to take this matter very seriously, either to stay the decision of the court and to make sure that the people of Tsumeb get their fair share of land in the country of their birth. So, submit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay.